Let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where nothing is really wrong, but you still do not feel happy? You wake up, check your phone, go through your normal routine, work, talk to people, scroll through social media, and somehow, at the end of the day, you still feel empty. But what if I told you happiness is not just something you're born with? It's not a personality trait, and it's not something you have to wait for. Happiness is something your brain can learn. And here's the interesting part. You do not need to completely change your life to change your mind. You do not need a perfect morning routine. You do not need more money. You do not need a perfect relationship. And you definitely do not need to become a completely different person overnight. Sometimes, your brain just needs a tiny signal, a tiny action, a tiny habit. Repeat it again and again, because your brain is constantly learning from what you do. And today, I'm going to show you 7 tiny habits that can help train your brain toward a happier, calmer, and more positive state. They're simple, they're practical, and most of them take less than a minute. But do not underestimate them, because the smallest habits can create the biggest changes over time. And make sure you stay until habit number 7, because that one can completely change the way you handle difficult moments. So, let's rewire your brain for happiness, one tiny habit at a time. Habit number 1, the 3-second gratitude switch. Tomorrow morning, the moment you wake up, do not touch your phone. Do not check your notifications. Do not open social media. Instead, ask yourself one simple question. What is one thing I'm grateful for? That's it. Just one thing. It does not need to be something huge. You do not need to have the perfect life. Maybe you're grateful that you slept well. Maybe you're grateful for your family. Maybe you're grateful that you have another day. Maybe you're grateful for your health. Or maybe you're simply grateful that you get another chance to improve. Why does this work? Because your brain naturally looks for problems. It's called the negativity bias. Your mind is designed to notice threats, mistakes, and negative information. That's useful for survival, but it can make everyday life feel much worse than it actually is. So you have to train your attention every morning. Find one good thing, just one. You're teaching your brain. Look for what's going right. And when you repeat that every day, your attention starts changing. 3 seconds, one thought, one tiny habit. But it can completely change the way you start your day. Habit number 2, the 10-second smile reset. This one sounds almost too simple, but try it. The next time you're feeling stressed or mentally tired, relax your face, take a slow breath, and give yourself a small smile. Not a huge fake smile, just a gentle one for about 10 seconds. Why? Because your brain and your body are constantly communicating. The way you feel affects your body, and your body can also influence how you feel. A small smile can interrupt a negative emotional pattern and give your brain a different signal. Think about it. You're sitting there, thinking about everything that went wrong. Your shoulders are tense. Your face is tight. Your breathing is shallow. Then, you stop. You relax your face. You breathe, and you smile. Nothing outside of you changed, but your internal state can start to shift. So next time you're waiting for something, waiting for an elevator, waiting for your coffee, or even watching this video, try it. 10 seconds. Relax. Smile. Breathe. Sometimes, you do not need a new life. You just need a new state. Habit number 3. The 1-minute movement rule. Here's something important. When your mind feels stuck, don't always try to think your way out of it. Move. When you're stressed, stand up, walk around, stretch your arms, go outside. Move your body for just 1 minute. That's it. 1 minute. You do not need a gym. You do not need workout clothes. You do not need a complicated routine. Just move. Because when you're sitting in the same position, staring at the same screen, thinking about the same problem, your mind can become trapped in the same loop. Movement interrupts that loop. It changes your physical state, and that can help change your mental state too. Have you ever noticed that a short walk can make a problem feel smaller? The problem did not disappear. You simply gave your brain a different environment and a different physical signal. So remember this. When your mind feels stuck, move your body. Do not wait for motivation. Move first and let your mind catch up. Habit number 4. The 5-minute phone-free morning. Let's be honest. Most people do not wake up anymore. They wake up and immediately enter the internet. Their eyes open, and within seconds, they're checking notifications, messages, news, social media, other people's lives. And before they've even had time to think, their attention already belongs to someone else. So tomorrow, try something different. For the first 5 minutes of your morning, don't touch your phone. Just 5 minutes. Sit up, drink some water, open the curtains, look outside, take a few slow breaths. Think about what you want from your day. That's it. Those 5 minutes belong to you. Because the first thing you consume in the morning can influence the direction of your attention. Instead of waking up and asking, "What is everyone else doing?" you start asking, "What do I want to do today?" That's a completely different mindset. And over time, you're practicing something extremely valuable. Control over your attention. Because your attention is one of the most valuable things you own. Habit number 5. Name the emotion. This one is powerful. Have you ever felt angry and then became even more angry because you were angry? Or felt anxious and then started worrying about why you were anxious? You don't just experience the emotion, you start fighting it. And that creates even more stress. So here's what I want you to try. Name what you're feeling. That's it. Say, "I feel stressed. I feel disappointed. I feel anxious. I feel angry. I feel overwhelmed." Notice the difference. You're not saying, "I am broken." You're saying, "I feel stressed." That means the emotion is something you're experiencing, not something that defines you. Research on emotion labeling suggests that putting feelings into words can help reduce their intensity and improve emotional regulation. So the next time a strong emotion hits you, do not immediately react. Do not immediately send that message. Do not immediately make a decision. Pause and name it. "I feel angry right now." Then breathe. That tiny pause can save you from making a decision you'll regret later. Habit number 6. The small win before bed. This habit takes less than 30 seconds. Before you go to sleep, ask yourself, "What did I do well today?" Not, "What went wrong?" Not, "What did I fail to finish?" Ask, "What did I do well?" Maybe you exercised. Maybe you worked hard. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you stayed calm during a difficult situation. Maybe you avoided a bad decision. Maybe you simply showed up, even though you didn't feel motivated. Find one small win. Why? Because your brain can easily remember your mistakes and completely forget your progress. You can do 10 things right and spend the entire night thinking about the one thing you did wrong. So before sleeping, give your brain another story. "I made progress. I handled that better. I kept my promise. I learned something. I showed up." This creates a simple shift from self-criticism to self-awareness, and that matters. Because happiness is not only about feeling good, it's also about feeling that you're moving forward. Habit number 7, the future self question. This might be the most powerful one, because you can use it anywhere, anytime. When you're angry, pause. When you want to procrastinate, pause. When you want to waste an hour scrolling, pause. When you're about to spend money impulsively, pause. And ask yourself, what would the best version of me do right now? That's it. 5 seconds. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. Stronger, calmer, healthier, more disciplined, more confident, more financially secure. Now imagine that future version of you, standing right beside you, and ask, what would you do? Maybe the answer is, take a breath, walk away, finish the task, save the money, go outside, forgive someone, or simply do not react yet, because emotions are temporary. But the decisions you make while emotional can have lasting consequences. That 5-second question creates space between your emotion and your action. And that space is where self-control begins. So, let's remember the 7 habits. 3 seconds of gratitude. 10 seconds of smiling. 1 minute of movement. 5 phone-free minutes in the morning. Name the emotion. Find one small win before bed. And ask, what would my future self do? None of these habits will magically give you a perfect life. And that's not what happiness means. Happiness does not mean having no problems. It means becoming better at handling the problems you already have. Your brain is constantly adapting to what you repeatedly practice. If you constantly practice negativity, you become better at finding negativity. If you constantly practice distraction, you become better at escaping the present. But if you practice gratitude, awareness, movement, emotional control, and positive attention, you start building different mental patterns. And that's the real secret. You do not need to transform your entire life tomorrow. You need to transform the tiny moments that make up your life. One thought, one breath, one decision, one habit at a time. So do not try all 7 habits tomorrow. Pick just one. Make it ridiculously easy. Repeat it until it becomes natural. Then add another. Because your life is not usually changed by one massive decision. It's changed by the small decisions you repeat every single day. And if you want to build not only a happier mind, but a stronger mind, a more disciplined mind, and eventually, a stronger financial life, subscribe to Build Money Mind. Because we're not here to chase temporary motivation. We're here to build the mindset that changes everything. And before you leave, comment below, I choose my future. Remember, your happiness isn't waiting somewhere far away. Sometimes, it's hidden inside one tiny decision you can make right now.